welcome to another feature breakdown. I've done these a long time ago on my other channel, but I'm going to start to break down some licks and some features for anyone that's curious about learning them and learning how to play them better and how to like execute them from a technical standpoint as well. So this feature comes from Carolina Crown's 2019 show from last summer. And this is in their closer, Bucemis, and it is the snare feature in the beginning. So I think it's about 8 bars or so, and what's interesting about the closer, this particular closer, is that it's a bar of 4/4 followed by a bar of 7/8. The whole tune is basically that structure. So I guess in terms of 8th note groupings, it's in 15/8 essentially. Because it's 8/8 notes for the 4/4 bar and 7/8 notes for the second bar. So they alternate. So basically, how to internally sort of count that or feel that, you have 4 chord notes at the beginning, easy, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, just downbeats. And the 7/8 is usually felt as 3 plus 2 plus 2. So when you have a 7/8, you can group it in a couple different ways. Sometimes it's grouped 2 plus 2 plus 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. A lot of the times, though, in Bucemis, it's felt as 3 plus 2 plus 2. So we have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, so, and it's pretty fast, too. I don't actually know the tempo. It might be like 192, something like that. But we have, in total, for those 2 bars, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. So the whole tune sort of has that feeling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Sort of internalize that, I guess, rhythmic ostinato to help you count through the whole tune. All the music is on a Snare Science Google Drive. I'll probably link it in the description, so you can follow along, read with me, and learn it with me. So I'm going to break it down nice and slow, pretty much every 2 bars, or every bar by itself. So the first thing I want to look at is this first 2 bars. Besides that one rim. Okay, so to start off with the bar 4/4, you have a book report for the first 2 beats. Okay, book report off the right hand, accent on the first beat. Pretty standard hybrid rudiment. This feature has a lot of hybrid rudiments in it, as well as some paradiddle-diddles, and some flams in here. So basically, that first bar, you have, so the second 2 beats are left-hand accent, paradiddle-diddle, 6-tuplet, coming on the upbeat, and then the and of 4 is a rim shot, and there's no downbeat. So you have nice and slow, okay? Okay, and then you have an 8th note rest at the beginning of the next bar. And then it goes into a left-hand cheese. Okay, so with a left hand, you can kind of raise the left hand a little bit. Basically, when you're in this feature, whenever you're preparing for an accent, you want to float it a little bit. So, okay, so the next thing we have the cheese, left-hand cheese. Okay, it's a left diddle with a right-hand grace note and then a right-hand tap. It's actually a cheese invert, technically. So you have 1. Second 2 beats are just right-hand flams. They're going to decrescendo and end with a buzz with a grace note, I believe. Okay. And again, you're going to raise that left hand for the next accent. So that bar is 1. I don't know why I'm hitting the rim. Rest. Okay, so the first 2 bars you got nice and slow. Okay? Some of these rests in here, you gotta kind of just feel, you gotta listen to it and hear how they're feeling the rest and how they're subdividing them to kind of get the flow of this feature. So there's some rests in some weird places, like that rest right there is on the first beat of the 7/8 bar. So that's how it feels kind of weird. You have da. Okay, you have that sort of gap between the first bar and the second. Okay, so now once you master those two bars, okay, so you have another left-hand figure with the same rhythm as the she's invert, but now it's singled. Okay, so what's interesting about this is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, because we're back into the 4/4 now. The second bar of 4/4, so you have buzz, yeah, okay, and I believe it's accented. And same thing with that upbeat paradiddle-diddle figure on the end of 3. So almost a common response to the first bar. Now we have, okay, the next bar is a little weird because you have left-hand buzz, 8th note, and then I call this an inverted roll. I think there's other names to it too, but you have inverted paradiddle is really what it is. Right, left, left, right, right. Okay. Okay. Buzz, inverted roll, flame tap. Okay, that's the left-hand flame tap. That bar is pretty easy. I just played that wrong. What's tricky is that left-hand buzz is just an 8th note space, whereas that last right hand there is a quarter note space into flame tap 1. Okay. So going from here, sorry. Okay, that's the second 2 bars. Okay, so from the beginning, not up to tempo quite yet. Okay, the next bar, yeah, so the next thing is you basically have 2 4/3 polyrhythms, but they're kind of felt differently. So you have, if you don't know what 4/3 polyrhythm is, it's basically in the context of this tune, if we're in 4/4, yeah, 1 and 2 and 3, and 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 1. Right? We're grouping the 3 8th notes. 1 and 2 and 3, and 1 and 2 and 3, and 1. With a 4/3, you're going to put 4 notes inside of that space where the 3 notes would go. So you got, okay, so you get instead of okay, okay, pretty simple concept, 4/3, but here we're going to play roll, a tap roll, and then a paradiddle diddle diddle. So you got tap roll, right, left, right, left. Nice and simple. And then you have a paradiddle diddle diddle, which is 4 partials of 4/3. Yeah, so from there, okay, so you have 4 and left shot. Again, there's that 6-tuple paradiddle diddle. So you have left paradiddle diddle tap. So you have this. The next thing is kind of weird because it's a split rim shot thing. I play it as left shot shot, just like put 2 right hand shots, and the next downbeat is on the left hand. Okay, so that all together would be roll paradiddle diddle. I don't know why I buzzed that. All that together would be roll paradiddle. Okay, up to tempo. Okay, that's a bar 4/4 bar 7/8. Okay, now the last bar is really cool, really simple. The first thing we have, okay, we have another 6-tuplet paradiddle diddle, well, almost a 6-tuplet paradiddle diddle, but this time it's in a grouping of 5. with 2 left-hand taps to start off with, and then a paradiddle diddle. So if you were to check that, okay, 5-lit, 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 1. Right, very simple grouping of 5-lits, but that would be so. Okay, with a paradiddle diddle, you're gonna basically make 16th note 5-lits out of the paradiddle diddle. So altogether, if the paradiddle diddle takes up 3 partials of the 5-lit, the 2 taps in the beginning, that gives you 5. Okay? 1 2 3 4 5 1. 1 2 3 4 5 1. Okay? That one's the only real wacky rhythm before if you've never tried to play like paradiddle variations inside of a 5-lit. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 1. The next thing is simple in concept but hard to pull off because 3s, good old French rolls. Okay, right hand 3, left hand 3, right hand 3, but in a 9-lit fashion. So 9-lits, 1 2 3 1, triplet 1. Right inside of a quarter note triplet, you're gonna put 3 notes inside of each of those partials, so you get 9. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 1. Really let those bounce, and let those flow. It's a lot of front of the grip here. Just letting it kind of bounce in and controlling that rebound. Playing with a lot of velocity. Okay, so that bar is. Okay. The last bar is pretty simple. You have 1 2 in. Okay. So left shuffle shot, right left, and then right hand flam, left hand flam at the end. So all together we have, again, nice and slow. Now I'm going to play the whole feature for you, nice and slow. Okay, now up tempo. Okay, that's one of the coolest like groupings of bars and odd tuplets and really interesting play on the rhythm of the closer. Again, I'll leave the link to the music in the description. But yeah, one more time. It's pretty fast. Work on it slow first, and then bring it up to tempo.